if Richard C. Cabot were right when he said, "The most powerful motive in the world is one that appeals to the largest number of people of every age, race, and kind," then our distinguished speaker for the morning well qualifies as a man of extraordinarily powerful motive. Who can deny that this native of Shreveport, Louisiana, with a BS degree in business administration from the University of California at Los Angeles and a JD degree from Loyola University School of Law, is a prodigious master of litigation and is well deserving of his reputation as an outstanding lawyer? No one was surprised then when he was named one of the 10 most successful litigators in the country in the National Law Journal, when he received Ebony Magazine's Best in the West Award, the Renaissance Man of the Year Award, the Golden Bell Award, and the Pioneer of Black Legal Leadership Award, when he was named Trial Lawyer of the Year several times, when he was accepted as a member of the prestigious International Academy of Trial Lawyers, and when he received numerous awards, distinctions, and citations. But it's his dedication to service for others that lifts him to the vistas far beyond the ordinary. For he once said, "It frightens me that our young black men have a better chance of going to jail than of going to college." His sensitivity to the plight of the less fortunate inspired him and his wife to make a substantial donation to the building of Cochran Villa, a subsidized housing complex for the previously homeless families in South Central Los Angeles. He is also founding chairperson of Domestic Violence Council of Los Angeles County, an active member of Second Baptist Church, where he served as legal counsel. Our speaker is the father of 3 grown children. Indeed, based on his achievements, based on his service to the community, and based on his commitment to family life, he is a phenomenal man. Therefore, Morehouse College welcomes to this commencement exercise a Renaissance man of outstanding service, a perpetual champion for dignity and rights for all people, and a professional whose entire career has been washed and watered in excellence and achievement. Ladies and gentlemen, the phenomenal, the unforgettable, the distinguished, the impressive, Mr. Johnnie L. Cochran Jr.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Reverend Johnson. First, giving honor to God, who is worthy to be praised. To President and Mrs. Massey, to President Emeritus Gloucester, to my good friend, the Reverend Dr. Otis Moss, and the other trustees of this prestigious institution, to the platform guests, to this distinguished faculty, to our honorees that we'll be honoring shortly, to the parents, relatives, and friends of Morehouse and these graduates, and last but of course not least, to the magnificent graduates of the class of 1996, I bid you good morning. I must begin by saying today how pleased I am to have been asked to speak to you on this occasion of your graduation. As the only institution dedicated primarily to the education of black men, Morehouse is indeed a hallowed place. Today is a very special day for all of you, and it's a great honor for me to have been asked to share with you during this period of time. Now, before I launch into my remarks, I want to tell you that I know it's warm out there and I will not be long. I will move right through the remarks, but I would be remiss were I not to say to Mr. Arthur Cutler and to Mr. A. Benjamin Spencer that the legal profession needs you to join the 3.3% of black lawyers in this country in the fight for justice. And I was deeply impressed by both of your remarks and look forward to joining you as colleagues, hopefully in the next 3 or 4 years. Now, there are many qualities that make Morehouse special in the eyes of the world, because the world sees what Morehouse produces and we all benefit. We see the Martin Luther Kings, the Louis Sullivans, the Edwin Moses, the David Satchers, the Benjamin Mays, the Otis Mosses, the Walter Masseys, the Maynard Jacksons, the Spike Lees, and the Major Owenses, and the Sanford Bishops. We see Morehouse men as leaders in the areas of medicine, science, law, athletics, film, the arts, and in important research in various fields of endeavor. We see Morehouse men run cities and guide legislation through the halls of Congress. It is no exaggeration then to say that the world truly benefits from Morehouse. As you graduate today, the world will benefit from you also, because the qualities and the skills that you have honed here over the past 4 or 5 or 6 years give you the makings of greatness. But becoming great is a process that takes a while. So wait to be great. You're not the first to leave here so honored, nor will you be the last. Try and make sure, however, that the tradition is strengthened. The world knows that a Morehouse man is special. He has a superior legal and liberal arts education. He has a disciplined mind. His social vision and his view of the world are indeed unique. He is destined to live a life of leadership, service, and self-realization. When you look at this great institution from its earliest days, born in slavery and Reconstruction, and you think about the mission, which has been the core of its existence through the decades, you see the origins of excellence that continue with each student who leaves here to carry on the tradition. To paraphrase your founder, the thorough humanity of the black man, a being whose mind and soul can expand indefinitely to comprehend the great things of God and to take a place of usefulness and honor in the world's activities. Well, today's activities, the world's activities, are more complex than they've ever been before. In this ever-changing world, the leaders of tomorrow are going to need special qualities. And the most special quality all of you will need, look around you now as I say, is each other. As you enter the new millennium as a leader for the 21st century, there are certain characteristics and skill sets which you will all need. You will need a global perspective. You will need to be able to live, to work, and to interact effectively in a multicultural environment. And you will have to stay alert to changes in technology that are coming faster and bringing with them more significant ramifications each and every day. We now live in a society where a mouse pad is standard office equipment, and words like website and download are part of common conversation. Huge amounts of information can be sent and received anywhere in the world within seconds. People from 8 to 88 have the capability to be hooked up to worldwide communication networks. Everyone can see everything that is going on everywhere. As this technological revolution transforms society, more people are getting access to more information. And as the saying goes, information is power. So as people everywhere are becoming empowered through technology, don't let yourself be left by the wayside. Get on the information superhighway and let it take you for the rides of your life. As the leaders of tomorrow, make sure you put yourself in the driver's seat. Keep your minds open. Understand that both success and failure are the building blocks that they are. Each is a means to an end. The end is the building of accomplishment. We're also experiencing quantum leaps in the globalization of society. We can accurately say that we live in a world today without walls, whether by phone, fax, modem, satellite, or airplane. We're all connected. CNN brings the world into our living rooms around the clock. Borderless economies bring business partners together from around the world. Companies are expanding to worldwide presences, making and selling things in every corner of the world. Eastern European leader Václav Havel recently made the observation that ours is the first civilization in the history of the human race that spans the entire globe and firmly binds together all human societies. But perhaps we must first, quote unquote, repair the breach between ourselves and the millions of young black men who are not as fortunate in receiving the life preparation you've just completed. Never, ever forget your obligation to them and to their children. And let not their occasional bitterness and misunderstanding distract you from this charge. Consider spending time and effort with the National Task Force on Black Men and Boys, which advocates repairing the breach, a holistic approach in trying to save urban America, not just for black people, but for everybody. This task force is chaired by none other than Atlanta's own Andrew Young. The world is continually adapting to diversity. Perhaps we as a people know better than anyone that multiculturalism is more than just a buzzword for the 90s. Think for a moment about what the world will experience in just a couple of months from now, right here in Morehouse's backyard. The colors of the world will descend upon Atlanta for the opening ceremonies of the Olympics, testament to the multicultural nature of our world. It's an opportunity for people everywhere to embrace how the complexions and cultural complexities of the world add a certain richness and texture that society needs. The leaders in a multicultural world are aware of and prepared to deal with cultures other than their own. They have an awareness, an appreciation, and a respect for various customs, languages, and expectations. As leaders of tomorrow, the need will increase for you to deal with people of different cultures, all with different histories, different values and different habits, hopes and fears. And you will need to understand and appreciate those differences. You will need to be able to interpret situations, events, and interactions that would otherwise remain unfamiliar. I am reminded of one social scientist's example, that when a Japanese prime minister says he'll do his best to implement a certain policy, Americans may applaud victory, yet you see what the prime minister really means is no, but he won't express it in a direct way because of Japanese cultural values. The best leaders will know this and not let misinterpretations occur. But just as you participate in and move through the larger world society, you have to maintain your own cultural identity as African Americans. This is especially important in the current political environment in our country, where the policymakers don't necessarily have your best interests at heart. We have a particular responsibility to remind the majority culture in America that diversity is not an option. It is good business, and it is our moral imperative. As graduates of a preeminent, historically black college, you have the ability to reject the negative self-images that this society tries so often to reinforce. You have the ability to face oppression without fear. For you understand better than others W.E.B. Du Bois' idea of two-ness, stated thusly: an American, a Negro, two souls, two thoughts, two unreconciled strivings, two warring ideals in one dark body, whose dogged strength alone keeps it from being torn asunder. Beyond that, I think you have to be aware of all aspects of achieving, if you are in the Morehouse tradition, to continue the progress we've made thus far. That includes some very grim realities about the world into which you are about to enter. Right now, there are social, economic, and political changes taking place that could be potentially harmful to each of us. Within these changes lie some sophisticated covers for racism. It's unfortunate, but as you enter the job market, you're walking head-on into a political climate that has become very hostile to your interests and those of the larger black community. Many sectors of this country and this society are evolving into climates that are especially harsh toward African Americans. Look at the constant backlash against our affirmative action. In my opinion, it's nothing more than venting, simply racism, disguised by the veil of policy discussion. Look at the book, The Bell Curve, which uses the guise of socio-scientific research to say that blacks are genetically inferior. Another book, The End of Racism, blames our own wondrous black culture for holding us back in modern society. You know the figures. There are high unemployment rates for minorities. Our prisons hold disproportionate numbers of black men. Almost 50% of black infants are born into poverty. And so to today, 1 in 4 black children live in such neighborhoods as compared to 1 in 10 Hispanic children and 1 in 63 white children. These are the grim statistics reflecting the true status of African Americans in our so-called egalitarian society. So each of you have to keep your eyes and ears open so that when you see racism, you can stand up, call it what it is, and seek solutions for it. Otherwise, it will hold you back and, in the end, hold all of us back. There's one final mission that I ask you to undertake as young Morehouse men about to enter the world. Never, ever forget from whence you cometh, and that each of you can and must make a difference in this world. The black community seems to be facing a slow disintegration, but the leaders of our own community can be primary contributors, changing the direction of our plight. As I mentioned earlier, our government leaders aren't going to do it for us, so we better do it for ourselves. We need to instill the ideals that should be the guideposts in how we live our lives. An enduring faith in God first, hard work and preparation, the value of education, and the importance of family. We need to ensure that the institutions of the community that establish these values always remain intact and progress to be the best that they can be. Our schools, our churches, neighborhood associations, youth organizations, professional groups, and first and foremost, our families. It is the continual strengthening over time of this fabric that holds us together that you must now assume responsibility for. It will take time, but you're already off to a good start. And as I say, don't worry about failing, remembering always how noble it is to come back from failure and despair. In each and every one of you, I see the possibilities of great things to come and for a better America. You are our next generation. You are our best hope. Let's continue to grow as individuals and as people so we have the wherewithal to give this nation what it needs from us. You can work miracles if you make excellence your goal in your every role. We need you to walk through life as a graduate of this great institution with your heads held high, knowing that you carry on the great Morehouse tradition. So again, I join the others in congratulating you on this milestone in your lives. And I'm looking forward to great things, the great things which each of you will accomplish. This country's first black president may well come from Morehouse, and maybe even from this very class. So go forth, live up to the legacy. I know that each of you will be successful in your quest to be the best. Remember always Ralph Waldo Emerson's description of a successful man. Who is he? A man who laughs often and much. to win the respect of intelligent people and the affection of children, to earn the appreciation of honest critics, and endure the betrayal of false friends, to appreciate beauty, to find the best in others, to leave the world a bit better, whether by a healthy child, a garden patch, a redeemed social condition, to know even one life has breathed easier because you have lived. Then, my sons, you will truly be successful Morehouse men. God bless each of you and keep the faith. Thank you.